Hi everyone, I hope you're doing really well and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd do a little bit of study with me and I bring you along and I show you what I study. As you may already know from the previous videos, I enrolled in A1 Spanish course in Instituto Cervantes, Manchester, and this is the book that we study from. And I have a huge pile of photocopies that they give us in the classroom. I've already been to 3 classes, 7 more to go until the end of the term, and I want to sort out these papers and then I start studying. So let's get started. One thing about me is that I very much like to be organized and I cannot live in chaos. I have to organize every single thing after each class or I get totally lost in the whole thing. I have a few of these papers and I'm going to put all of them in here based on the sessions. Session 1, then session 2, then session 3 and so on. So I remember these were from session 1 when we were introducing ourselves. This is the name, for example, and then this was where we are from, and this was how we are, and this was our job, and where we live. So we were doing like a practice inside the classroom with other people, and we were writing it down as we were practicing these questions, such as ¿Cómo te llamas? Me llamo Negin. ¿De dónde eres? ¿Qué haces? ¿Dónde vives? These kind of questions. It was a very fun activity to do in the class. So that's the very first paper. And then we were learning about nacionalidad and the country names. And of course the alphabet. A, B, F, D, E, F, G, H, I, and so on. And common questions that we're supposed to ask in the classroom instead of saying them in English, such as ¿Cómo se escribe? ¿Cómo se dice chair? ¿Qué significa silla? No entiende, no entiendo, no sé, repetir por favor, o repite por favor, más despacio por favor, these kind of things instead of saying them in English, which is, I think, a very clever way of keeping the whole class, you know, in Spanish rather than somebody shout a question in English. I'm organized. Like, it starts from here, the goal of the course, then common questions to introduce yourself, name of countries, common questions in the class, some practices for numbers, these are for numbers, and the alphabets, things we see in the classroom. And I think this was again for countries and nationalities, like Cuba, Cubano, Cubana, Italia, Italiano, Italiana. And then here we were learning about the O and R at the end for like masculine, feminine, and this one as well. So let me talk about the book. This is the book we are using, the textbook we are using in the classroom. It's called Aula Internacional +1. This covers all A1, A1.1 and A1.2. Half of the book is for the first term and the other is for the second term. So we started from 0, obviously, and here we were like introducing ourselves, as I showed you in the photocopy, and some common things to say, such as ¿Cómo estás? Buenos días. Buenos días, buenas noches, hasta luego, hasta pronto, adios, and numbers from 0 to 10. In the first class we learned 0 to 10, and then we were practicing the alphabet, and then things in the classroom, such as chair, table, backpack, things like that. And then we were doing a practice. So every time we do something in the book, we actually practice it within ourselves. So we were introducing ourselves by saying our name, where we are from, what's our job, and our age. So, for example, me llamo Lea y soy canadiense. Trabajo en un laboratorio. Soy científica. Tengo 41 años. So we were doing it within ourselves, for like with our information. Then we learned how to count from 11 to 100. Listening to this, and we were writing it down, the job, the age, the telephone number, the email address, and these questions are really important, so today I'm going to practice them. And we were listening to some differences between h sound and g sound, or k sound and th or s sound. Such as, for example, this has the th sound, so we were ticking this. This has the k sound and aha. So the third lesson we were getting into more serious stuff. To be verbs and to have verbs. Yo soy, yo tengo, tú eres, tú tienes, él es, ella es. I need to work on this, practice this today. We were practicing this as well. For example, saying, para mí es importante música, es importante sol, familia, things like that. Our homework is to make a poster, to make something like this with the information that we were getting from the other person in the class. So we were in groups of 2 and we were interviewing each other and we were just writing our information down. So I need to do something like this today as my homework, which is really exciting. I feel like I'm back to school, which is kind of nice. And yeah, so we covered until the end of this. At the end of this book, we have more examples. So when it says más ejercicios, I think, we have more examples, more exercises for lessons that we have here. And these are usually our homeworks, which was fun. And yeah, we've done until this page. And these are my stationery that I always take to the class. So I'm going to put the camera there and do 20 minutes of studying. My homework today were this one and these ones and these questions such as ¿A qué te dedicas? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cuántos años tienes? ¿De dónde eres? ¿En qué trabajas? ¿Tienes móvil? ¿Eres mexicano? And then these ones as well for professions and for nacionalidad. I had to divide them between separate the masculine version and the feminine version, and these are the tools that are related to the things that are related to these professions. So I learned new words for professions such as jardinero, carpintero, albañil. I'm not sure about this one. So any word that I don't understand, I basically write it down in English. And yes, that's